Hello.
Hello. Look at this. All three of us.
Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
We're all here. Yay!
We're all here.
Yes, I can hear you now. Hooray!
Lance
Hooray!
featuring his rather nice looking jacket.
Do you know what?
Very
I came upstairs without putting a
Smock
hoodie
jacket.
on.
Whoa. What is wrong with your mic?
It's a my mic.
Yep.
Well, what's up about my mic?
You also sound like you're in a toilet.
Really?
Sounds okay to me, just very loud.
Oh.
Hang on. What about now? Hello.
Maybe it's my headphones. But you sound fine. It's all right. It's good to see
Are they
everyone.
new headphones by any chance?
Yeah, but they're working. Mike sounds fine.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Are they new headphones like the success you had with your new mic the other day?
Oh, they've gone back. They have gone back.
Well, if I'm too loud, let me know, and I shall try and rectify it. But I've not changed any settings, so I don't know. And I've got a circle drawn around where my mic used to go on my desk, so it doesn't move.
Just put a screw through it.
Yeah.
Hello to everyone
Just through
joining
the
us
mic.
for our little
Hello.
our
Welcome
meeting.
back, everyone.
Hi Kieran, hi Pony Tony, Harry
Hi.
Badger, Pegasus, Daz. Hello Daz. I liked your badge, by the way. Nice little badge. Marky Mark Rage says, what time do you call this? 8 o'clock.
On time.
On time.
Marky Mark, Landnav Challenge. Gentlemen, what have I missed? What have we missed? I don't think we've missed anything yet.
I think.
No. Just sorted out my earpiece and
Yeah.
think my mic's okay. That's about it.
It's all gravy.
Not sure if my headphones are okay, but hey.
Pegasus. Oh, hello, Silly Gilly. Call sign Chewbacca. Pegasus says Lance seems to be peaking volume.
Well, there you go.
Turn it down a bit more.
Silly Gilly says, finally, the band is back together again. And we are, yeah!
Is that better? Hurrah and huzzah. Is that better? Now I'm paranoid
I think
about
I've
my
worked.
mic. So I'll just mute myself.
I've just worked out. I've just worked out that.
And he's got
my
bathroom
headphones-
mode on.
No. My headphones can connect to two devices at once. So my phone was in my ear as well, which was very unpleasant a second ago when I got a
So
message.
do I actually sound really quiet now then? Am I back to normal? Oh, I don't know. I've got a headache already. It's been on for 3 minutes.
I don't know. Let's roll into the news.
I take my gun and I go pew 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 pew.
News. So, some exciting news. We're going to be guests on a podcast. Unfortunately, we can't
we
all
are.
make it. But we're going to be guests on a podcast.
All right,
It's very
bit delayed,
exciting.
right?
That's right. Well done, Lance.
Smooth transition there, mate.
Yeah. I need to
So
sleep.
United Kingdom Airsoft Ladies have invited us on their podcast next Tuesday. So we're very excited for
They
that.
have. So you get 2 podcasts with us on.
Yes.
Try not to get too excited.
So go and check that out. It's a cracking podcast, and it will
is
no
good.
doubt have its tone lowered by us being on it.
I'm on it. Lance, you can't do it, can you? Because your
Absolutely.
lads.
I'm
doing
not on it. Oh,
footy.
you two can do that one.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
We
man.
can lower the tone of any conversation.
Absolutely.
In other news, has anybody got any other news? Any exciting news you've seen?
Yeah, they're
Oh, yes.
unfortunately
Hang on. Where's it?
Rift Airsoft are losing a site due to progressive action where they're basically turning it into a landfill site, and they are holding a battle sim this weekend at the Ridge. So if anyone's bored this weekend and want to try out a little MilSim based day event at a site that you'll never be able to play again, have a look at the Rift website.
Cool.
I would be going, but it's a hard site as well because it's an old quarry, so you got to be like proper fit for it. But yeah,
Fair play, nice.
and I've nearly finished my MWS. Yay me!
Well done, you. What you got left to go on it, mate?
And that's gas.
You've got gas to go on it.
And I might change. Yeah, I might change the stock. Oh.
I don't know. What do you
Gas
mean you've
to
got?
go on
You've
it.
got to buy some
I've got-
gas, or
I've got to buy some. as well because I'm out.
Right. So you got to buy a new stock, and then it's just buying some gas.
No, I don't have to, but I might.
I was going to
I'm
say,
not
that
sure on
picture you
that
sent
one.
today's got a stock on it. What's the problem?
Yeah, that one is there. I'll put it out there.
There it is.
But I might change the stock
I'll change the stock on mine.
because I'm fussy.
Honestly, it's a privilege chatting to you two sometimes.
I'm proud of that comment.
There you go.
It's been a long time. We've got to ease ourselves back into it.
We have.
Lance, what's your news?
So we had a message on our NoFo Instagram from a gentleman called Vince_Nevermind. One of our French listeners, lovely chap. So I've spoken to him a little bit during the week. And he was telling us about some 3D printed bits and bobs that he's been doing, or a company that does over there. And it's the they have a 419 lab here making 3D printed sound mines that look like Russian butterfly mines and American and Vietnam war mines, also World War II German mines in development. After listening to our Pyro Kills Without Rifts episode last week.
Awesome.
And also he put us onto a, because obviously we can't use, a lot of sites are banning tagging products because there's no data sheets for their data, funny enough, for sites to review to allow them to use them at the site. However, there is another site which is, I believe, ironically enough, a Ukrainian company. And for the life of me, I'm trying to find what they are called. I think it's Pyrosoft.
I think it was at the link that you sent to us.
Yeah, pyrosoft.eu. So they've basically got their own variants of like a tag round, basically, or a UGL 203 round, varying types. I mean, it does show that most of them are all out of stock at the minute, but yeah. From what I can see, there's data sheets and available for that. So that was a nice, interesting bit of news that we got from this Vince Nevermind from France. So we thank him for that. Put us in touch, because obviously I know a lot of places you can't even get tagged stuff at the moment. So if we can source bits from there, then happy days. I'm not tried them. Definitely. Can't say if they're any good or not, but it's a little bit.
No. Maybe we'll have to have a little chat and see if we can get one for science.
Absolutely, that sounds good. Yes, but that's pretty much.
I like the sound of I like the sound of mines. I like the sound of a mine.
Mine sounds fun.
That'd be fun.
Well, I saw the top of the message, like, yeah, we make mines. I was like, tell me more.
Oh man, you rock up to an event, like, what's in your backpacks? Just full of mines. You just go around the field for the rest of the day, just mine.
Dressed as a seagull, doing it.
Oh, any purchases from the week?
Yeah, a lot.
No.
No
purchases this week. Negative.
I bought a new front rail. Grip.
For MWS.
Compressor. Yeah. In a barrel. Out a barrel. Grip.
So you basically just bought a new airsoft rifle in bits. Like bit
Yeah. I made it how I wanted.
Okay.
Can't even pick the
Fair
thing
enough.
up without my chest hurting. Tried running around the house trying to do a bit of CQB. Ended up in tears about 2 minutes after. Sat on the stairs going, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Took some
Is it heavy
painkillers
then?
and then
Like,
ran around some more.
your build you've been working on, is it adding a lot of weight to it, or?
No, well, it is, because originally it had like a carbon fiber outer barrel and carbon fiber rail system and stuff. So I've taken all that off, and I've put like solid metal Mark 18 stuff all over it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, do I sound all right now?
That sounds much better.
Does that sound
perfect?
Yeah, I had my camera mic on and not my actual mic. I was just because I was doing some printing and I unplugged my other mic the other day and plugged it back in, but I hadn't reconnected it, and I was like, "Oh, my printer's still plugged into that. I need to switch them over." So there we go. Yeah.
If you're liking the show so far,
back.
please hit the like button.
Send us a review on our amazing production quality.
Absolutely.
Marky Mark says, I'm in production talks with Lone Star Tactical for some custom made. And then he says, but custom made,
custom made butt, custom made ass,
custom made desert camo butt plugs.
I've got some of them, but not camouflage. They're just desert tan. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're in the
And
door
they got
card of a
on
truck.
I mean, you could
Don't
use
ask.
as well.
You could use the mole alarms as butt plugs if you really wanted to. Let's be honest with you. Like,
Well,
anything is
I-
technically
do you
a
know
butt
what?
plug if you're brave
Worryingly,
enough.
I
I'm just saying.
I don't actually know where they've gone. I think the moles have stolen them. I genuinely don't. Oh, actually, hang on. Is this them? Hang on. No, that's my trail camera. Nope. I don't know where they've gone. The moles have got them. They're
really
currently
slowly
developing
back
countermeasures against my alarms.
They're reverse engineering the anti-mole
Oh
devices.
fuck! They're actually going to give me back the alarms, and it's going to tell me that there are no moles when they go off.
Yeah, it's pro mole now. It's
Promo.
You're actually getting more moles.
Yes. Yeah. There's no trigger
What's
words
that
here for
weird
moles.
mole mating call that's coming out of that box in the corner of the garden? I got a few little purchases, so I made a little trip to Decathlon. And there's a couple of little things I just wanted to share. So obviously bought another head torch because I always buy a head torch every time I go to Decathlon. I really like these. It's red first. They are rechargeable, relatively waterproof. I wouldn't submerge this, but it's water resistant at least. And I've now got one of these in my kit, in my car, my glove box.
No good if
my
you're a
wife's glove box.
gynecologist then.
Well, it depends how close you're planning to get. But yeah,
Pretty
basically,
close.
I always like those head torches. And whilst I was in there, I noticed that they also had these little torches. So this is a
Oh, I love this.
TL100. This is a 4-class branded torch. This is also red on first. So it's 100 lumens. It does red on first, and then you can switch to like standard light mode and bright light, which is the 400 lumens. It also has a lockable function, so holding the off switch or on switch, whatever you want to call it, locks the torch, so you can't accidentally leave it on. And until you unlock it, it just flashes red. So for a tenner, for a little fairly bright torch, I thought that was
that's not bad.
not too
Nicely
far
done.
wrong. To be fair, comes with a little lanyard as well.
Nice little purchases there. See, Andy, what I would have done is if I was in Decathlon and I spotted them, I'd have gone, oh, lads, look at this. Is really wicked. Do you want me to pick you up one each?
I didn't know if it was going to be any good, and the reason being is that it runs off AAA batteries.
This
And
is
I only
why,
had the AAA batteries after I got home to test it. So
and that is why I always go to Decathlon with a minimum of 4 AAA batteries and 2 AA batteries.
I wouldn't
So you
thought
can
to do
open
that.
them up. Every time I go to Decathlon, I take batteries.
that's a bit weird. That's not
Honestly.
just me.
Yeah, I'm not being. That's sort of serial killer territory. That is.
Yeah.
Like that.
I've always got batteries on me, lads.
I bet you don't check. I bet you don't check your eggs before you buy them, do you?
Just licks them.
You meant to.
Yeah. You have to.
What? Check them for what?
I also
For
bought some
cracks,
tick
you
tweezers.
lunatic.
Oh, I'll just pick them up. I'll just go.
Well, you
There
don't.
go.
You don't open the box to see if any of them cracked.
No, you just throw them in the bag and that's it.
He's
Job done.
definitely a fucking serial killer, Mike.
I know he is. We knew he was. This is not new
If I
news.
get home, if I get home and I go, it's cracked, I'll go. Oh, yeah, my driver's
Best use it. Best use it now.
Yeah, and I'll throw it in the bin.
I bought some tick tweezers. These are Life
That's
Systems
very
tick
odd.
tweezers. These were £4. They come with a little sheath, which I thought was quite helpful because one of the biggest problems with if anyone has ever put tweezers in their kit, you find that bits and pieces can get between the tweezers and force them open and can kind of ruin the tweezers. These have a little sheath on them, which is quite nice. They are proper little hooked tick tweezers. You can kind of just see there. So you don't have to just use those for
that
ticks.
lovely
You can
word,
obviously
sheath.
use them for any other tweezer requiring tweezer.
Little teaser.
Me teasing in the woods.
So I had some tick tweezers before. They didn't come with a little sheath, scabbard, whatever you want to call them. Scabbard, tweezer scabbard sounds cool.
Sheath.
Um,
No, I like sheath. Say
sheath.
sheath again.
So yeah, I'm hoping that should be not too shabby in terms of usage. Those were £4, I think.
Well, I hope you never have to use them.
Yeah.
Well, I
Again.
hope I never have to use them. But I also bought some anti-bug bite stuff. So this was £3. I saw that and I thought, well, that's a nifty little tube of anti-inflammatory, like antihistamine type stuff. This is another 4-class product. This was £3. It's 10ml, and a lot of the box is in French. But apparently, it's calming insect roll-on, 99% natural origin,
So
soothing,
this is after
refreshing
you've been
effect.
bitten.
This is after you've been bitten. So basically, assuming that the DEET that you have brought with you and obviously applied hasn't necessarily fully worked, this is a little roll-on stick. with a metal ball bearing on the inside,
Ooh.
interestingly, which you can apply
like a little
to
paint
the
pen.
bitten area.
Like
Yeah, it's a
underneath.
little paint pen. 10mm.
Yeah, nice.
Quite a nice little product.
Does it smell nice?
Don't use on 0 to 3-year-olds though. So that's the
No idea. It makes me laugh at 0. Like literally just
Rub
popped
it on.
out, been instantly bit. Fuck, I can't use any treatment.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell terrible. I mean, it's not like a go-to scent. It feels very sort of TCP based, to be fair.
Oh,
But
TCP, bloody hell.
if I pass out in the next 3
fuck
minutes, can someone tell the
Back.
ambulance that that's what I've been sniffing?
I forgot.
Mike's
One of my
hardcore.
other purchases is
Mm-hmm.
my JBG hat.
Ah,
Oh, it's a hat. I thought it was a patch.
No. It's like attached to the hat.
Oh.
very nice.
Very
And
nice.
and one of their hoodies,
Andy.
highly recommend.
Very nice too. Very nice too.
Pop over to their shop
Have
because
you
they've got
Have you got the
discount
hoodie
on
on?
Black Friday. No, it's.
I'll
in
wait
the
till
wash.
Friday.
It's being washed.
Sorry, both of these things, Land Nav Challenge, were all from Decathlon. Everything came from Decathlon.
Nice.
They are clearing out their camping stuff a little bit. There's like a sale because it's all winter snow stuff at the moment, so they don't have a lot of tick bites,
All skiing.
all of that. So yeah.
Do you buy one of them cone helmets, speed helmets? Always wanted one of them.
I must profess, I was in there looking at all the ski kit, and I was like, oh, this is brilliant. We're obviously doing a winter episode, and I was planning to sort of maybe look at
Dress up.
the most military style snow stuff that they had in there. And the only thing they had was a pink camo, like a pink DPM snow jacket, which unfortunately they didn't have in my size that I could try it on suitably enough that it didn't make me look like I was wearing child's clothing.
Bastards.
So I didn't take that photo, unfortunately, but it did run
I
through
would
my
have liked
mind.
to seen that,
I
regardless.
thought you would have done.
Yeah, it is a weird thing that skiers don't wear camouflage, considering they might fall off a cliff.
Well, they wear white. Just like to point
Which
out
I
that a lot
think
of
is
ski.
just
Yeah, that's pretty
To be fair, that
stupid.
is camouflage
Yeah.
for snow gear.
I've never understood that. Oh, look at my white jacket that I'm going to go skiing in, off piste. Well,
Piece,
guys,
yeah.
So if anything, Woodland DPM would be amazing for skiing. Let's be honest.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, I think that's probably the end of the news. Unless you guys have anything else.
No, I don't think so.
No, not yet, no.
Cool.
Pew, 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 pew.
So tonight's show, we're going to be talking about winter kit. We've obviously got the winter is here. It's not coming anymore. It's pretty much here. It's getting cold. So we're going to be discussing how to keep yourself warm. You know, it's not the end of the world being a little bit chilly. We always have said on the show that it's best to be a little bit
Cold and
chilly
bold.
to allow yourself. Yeah, cold and bold to give you a bit of time. That was the phrase I was looking for. A bit of time to warm up, basically, because otherwise, if you hit the ground already warm, as soon as you start running and stuff like that, you're just going to be making yourself too hot, and then you'll be stripping off layers and sweating, which is a nightmare. So cold and bold is definitely the way forward. Which of you would like to kick us off with our winter kit tonight? We're going to be talking about base layers first.
Well, for me,
Lots.
the main bit that I feel the cold in is the tops of my legs and my thighs. Funny enough, don't really tend to feel the cold anywhere else. It's just my thighs. So I always crack a pair of long johns into the kit. Now, whether that's my sort of like my sort of cotton elasticated, like old school long johns, which I've got somewhere, or I've got some like a bit of like a merino lycra sort of texture, quick wicking, but they're still insulating, so they're quite good. But I do prefer like the old school, like granddad's long johns. Do you know what I mean? You just can't beat them for comfort. They're just so good and they're so warm.
Yeah.
So that's literally base layer wise. That is the only thing that gets added into my kit is my long johns, or my, which I've got on actually underneath here is a Norgie, but it's hard to see it through the camera. But you can pick these up for like £5. They are so good. They're wicked tops. And that might be it because my softy's in there all the time. My soft jacket, but base layer wise, it's just that traditional pair of long johns. It's an absolute must for me, especially at night and that. And if we're stagging on for ages and just stood still. I don't know what it is. It's literally my thighs that feel the cold. My knees, shins, backs of my legs, absolutely fine. Arms, chest, torso, back, it's all good. Apart from my fucking thighs, I'm sitting there like just rubbing them, like, yeah, here we go. Let's warm up. So yeah, I don't know what that is, but yeah, long johns for me all the way is a must.
Mine's my feet. My feet are my feet feel the cold more than anything else. Like I'll do the same as you. A pair of long johns will get thrown in the kit bag, but I've got to wear at least 2 pairs of thermal insulated socks because otherwise my feet just get cold almost straight away. Like my thighs do get a bit cold, but it's just my feet instantly. Poor circulation, probably.
If I wear extra socks, it's getting some that are a little bit bigger. So there is that wiggle room. That mistake I made at Machiavellian.
Yeah.
At Tuddenham, where I put 3 pairs on, and my toes were so bound up, it was just it froze them. They were literally frozen like bricks. Awful. But like normally it'd just be 2 pairs, like that sort of normal standard cotton pair, and then the big old Solanax from Decathlon. These are fucking mint. These are the best socks ever. And I've got to return. These ones are coming down out the loft tonight because my work ones are just dead. Like literally, I put it on and there's just that bit there. It's just a hole. There's just nothing there anymore. So I do need to throw them away. But they've been so loyal and hard working for me. But these socks, if you can get them in Decathlon, they're made by Solanac, and they're sort of like the
Tonight show
green.
sponsored by Decathlon.
Yeah, I know. But why not though, mate? It's good gear, isn't it?
That's the thing. Decathlon kit,
and it doesn't cost you through the nose.
No. So Decathlon, depending on the time of year that you're there, just they have like seasonal shops, same as like Tesco's and supermarkets like that. Generally, like they have different displays depending on the time of year, but they're quite good at keeping up in terms of it's winter, so they've got a massive amount of winter kit. They still have other bits and pieces in there, but the places I always look are whatever the specialist thing they got on, like hiking or something like that. But they usually have like a hunting section as well, like hunting and fishing, which contains quite a lot of your camo kit and stuff like that. And then normally in sort of the camping equipment area, you've got things like your head torches and stuff like that, which is to say where we'll pick those up from. So, yeah. I have a question for you, and it's something that I have found through a little bit of research. So, and I don't want to be taking the piss out of it, and I'm quite happy, Lance, that you mentioned tights. So, like tights are obviously, that kind of more modern spandexy type lycra material. I find grab the trousers that you've got over the top less than the sort of more traditional cotton long johns. So I've for quite a while gone with a kind of the cotton stuff, just on the basis of, I'll be honest with you, the thought of wearing tights for me was like, well, that's not very masculine, you can't wear them, they're for women. Now, what I have found, and I only put 2 and 2 together like last year, that the cotton trousers seem to grab the material of the trousers more, in terms of there's more friction between those two materials. So I was finding that I was feeling more uncomfortable in my trousers, because when you're sort of moving around, it was snagging the material, and the trousers weren't, just hanging as
the
they
trousers
should
were
be.
staying up, but the long johns were pulling down and stuff like that. And
yeah, and it was sort of all
I'm with you.
pull itself around and stuff like that. Whereas if you go with a more man-made material, so tight fabric is very similar to kind of the lycra versions and stuff like that. Like the Step 1 pants are quite similar to this. They don't grip quite the same. With the trousers I use, so I use the Helicon Tex trousers. So it's worth just playing around with that, because I found with one pair of trousers, I was wearing the cotton long johns, and it literally just ripped straight through. Like that was, I think it was last Christmas, where I was putting up the tent, and immediately, first knee to the ground, it literally just the trousers didn't move, and it just pulled the whole lot apart. So something to bear in mind there with those.
Yeah, ladies, I've done it before. For a railway, I couldn't get I'm working away from home, forgot my long johns, literally popped down a pair of nylons underneath your work trousers, and that, mate, you're warm for days. And you can even get woolly ones, like
as long as they're not thick thigh high.
No, they're not like fishnets or anything with a nice suspender belt around the top. I tried them, and they're crap for keeping you warm. So I went back and said, I want the other ones.
Cuddling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great for setting the mood, but just not keeping you warm.
Yeah. One thing that I do need to just have a little update on. I gave the advice about wearing your Step 1s inside out to get rid of the seam. One thing that I did find while I was on holiday is, in an extreme temperature, the anti-wicking or the wicking section doesn't work. That's directional.
Ah,
You get
Okay.
very
So you got sweaty.
It's
It
balls.
only
anti-wicking.
works one way. It was not. It was just like, yep, you're gonna get sweaty balls, and I was like,
Respect.
okay. So be mindful in hot weathers.
Weigh up the
Wear them the
options.
correct way. Yeah, wear them the correct way because otherwise it will not be doing its job properly.
Mm.
And I don't want people getting sore.
I mean, at that point, it comes down to personal hygiene and admin,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Like every once in a while, just give yourself a little wash with a wet wipe or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wet wipe to the danger areas. Sorts it all out. It's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Or talc.
Absolutely.
I mean, talc's obviously the one for dealing with that, but
Well, like I said, you can't wear talc because it just bakes a cake down there, doesn't it?
throw a few cranberries. I've got a muffin. It's great. Just running through some of the comments. Drew says, "Lance, did you like the in the dark your mind mate pictures I sent you?"
No, when did you send me them? I've not seen them. Have I seen them?
Oh, that's through your
no.
OnlyFans account, mate.
Where did you send me them, bud? Oh no, I hate missing things.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. I like it when he panics.
Ray says, "Are they as good as the Petzl ones, Mike?" I quite like the 4-class ones because the Petzl ones are quite expensive. Having compared one of these with the Petzl ones at an event a couple of weeks ago. So the Petzl head torch that I was looking at has the filter that you can drop down. For the price of these are like 15 quid. I would probably just stick with this. I've had no problems with one of these. The Petzl ones, you get a little bit more movement depending on the brand that you buy. So this is just a fixed orientation for your head. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of personal preference, but I know the Petzl ones, unless you can get them at a cheaper price, are a lot more.
They're
So
about,
it's that
yeah,
kind
they're
of
about
trade
30,
up.
40 quid upwards, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean,
I
other
like
thing
the
to
Petzl
consider
one
is-
because it comes with the 2 buttons. So you have one for the red
Yep.
and one for the white, which is once you get
So
used to it, it's
interestingly,
not too bad.
Decathlon also sell one of those. So they have their own brand version of that, which I think goes up to 600 lumens. That was about 30 quid. So it depends on your price. The thing with head torches, I always find, and this is probably a personal preference thing, you either want to like a decent, expensive head torch if you're going to be doing stuff that requires a lot of light. If you need to get something out there where you need the light and you're relying on it to do stuff. For most part, the reason I use the head torches is I'm camping. I'm sitting around a campfire. I need a little bit of light for doing activities in front of me, but I'm not requiring to illuminate the whole woods. So this for me, I can't remember the lumen range. I'll look it up, but this is fine. I've never had a problem with these. It's good for doing a little tinkering around in the car or something like that because you can get the light that you need in close proximity. But yeah, it's worth going out and trying them. I mean, a lot of these shops you can go in and just try them out and have a little.
I
play
highly
around
rate
with
their
different-
Decathlon head torches. I think they're very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I think mine was a little bit more expensive than you. I think mine was like $14.99.
Yeah,
but
I think you
mine's
got the
a
next
different
model up from that one.
Right, hang on. It's just here in my belt kit. Hang on. Just sorting out my belt kit for an upcoming video. Yeah, that's who's mine made by? Oh, Force Class
Yours
as well.
is- Yeah, 4-class as well, but yours.
But
is
mine's
like the
obviously
next
I've
model
sniper
up.
taped mine. I've sniper taped the shit out of mine as well.
So yours
Red
has got
first
the
as well.
ability to rotate, doesn't it?
No, well, it's got pitch on it, yeah. So I can
Yeah.
pitch it
So
forward and
mine,
backwards.
this one doesn't have the pitch. This is just a fixed angle.
Okay, yeah. I've got a pencil
It's
that's
just a
like that. Those already
rubberized-
set. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the good thing is there's no holding down buttons. So plus is on, minus is off, or keep going through the pluses, and you get your white lights. Yeah. Good little torch, rechargeable as well. Happy days. I do like them. Drew, I've looked at my messages, mate. I've got nothing from you, buddy.
Via
Via
Insta.
Insta. Yeah, I've just looked, mate. I've got nout on there, pet. So I don't know what's happened there.
Did you
And I
send
know
it
it's
to,
you because it says it's you, and I've looked.
Did you send it to
And
the
this-
NoFo chat?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
Oh, we'll have a look.
We'll look. I shall look.
Call sign Chewbacca says pee in a bottle and put it in your legs.
Yes,
Put it on
get
your legs.
those collapsible bottles are really good, like the bag bottle, like you get for on a it's like a Sawyer Mini, the water
Stadium
purification
mate or
bottles.
something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, you can get but it's like basically like a really strong sort of like a bag essentially with a screw cap lid on it they're good because they actually turn into like a little pissy hot water bottle, rather than it being like a rigid bottle. You can have it as like a little piss bag, and you can sort of like not spread it over yourself, but you know what I mean. It's a bit comfier if you've having that laying on your side or something like that, rather than like just having like a plastic water bottle with piss in it, just like. Yeah,
I must profess, as soon as I read the comment, I was like, "Oh, the trolls are back again."
No.
The one's
Nice
talking
and warm,
about
man.
peeing over it. Fresh Meat says, "I've discovered Under Armour compression tops recently. It's been a game changer. Gives me just enough warmth to be comfortable and great wicking." I mean, that's the thing with any
Under Armour
base
is
layer, you
good
do need to be
wicking.
careful of the wicking, don't you? Because sweat is ultimately one of the biggest problems when you're cold, because it's effectively a water layer that you now have sitting next to your body that will also cool down. And that can really implicate any thermal barrier or thermal benefits as well from whatever base layer you've got on. So you do need
it's
to be
getting out
careful
of that wet
making sure
kit.
that
If
you've got that ventilation.
Yeah,
if you have
definitely.
sweated out and you're getting your head down, if you change into a dry top, because there's no point getting into a bag when you've got wet kit on from sweating. Like if your top half's gipping with sweat or whatnot, then yeah, definitely have a towel cup, have a towel down, and then just chuck a dry top on. Even if you've got one of these, you've not worn your Norgie or something like that, just chucking that on. Get your field shirt off, chuck that on. At least it's dry. Do you know what I mean? It's only going to help, because that's just going to absolutely screw you, especially if it's freezing cold, like sort of like 0 below. That's when it's really, really dangerous.
Evening, Keith.
Mark says, paying close attention to this episode. My winter kit is next to nothing, considering I've got an event in 4 weeks.
Oh,
Get
get
yourself sorted
yourself
out.
squared away, sir. Jesus Christ.
All his nice
Marky
thin
Mark.
desert camo.
Yeah. Yeah.
James says, even after working in -25 for 5 years, I still get cold hands and feet no matter what I wear.
Hands, I've got really good circulation in my hands. My hands are stupidly warm. My daughter's inherited that from me as well. Like, me and her can't hold hands because it's just sweating in seconds. Like, my hands are constantly boiling hot. It's really good. I love it.
Boiling an egg between you.
I'm not even joking, mate. Literally, it's weird. Like, I could be stood at work and put my hand on like a frosty handrail, and it just like steams and just completely melts it. It's like, it's a superpower.
Ray says, I know lads would wear tights under their combats on winter exercises. I mean, that's the thing with tights. So you can obviously get them nice and small. It's fairly lightweight. Probably want to get more of a heavier fabric than a lighter fabric, just because lighter fabrics tear easily.
If I could get hold of the ones that my missus bought me for my stag party when I went as Robin Hood, men in tights, we had green tights on. She bought me these green woolen tights. Jesus Christ, they were hot. Like, they were proper hot.
they do winter tights, don't they?
Yeah.
Which are slightly thicker than the like normal tights that you would see someone wearing out.
These are the ones that she must have got me, because I was
tights.
sweating my fucking balls off in these.
They are hot.
Trying to dance. Yeah, man. Whilst we're on the subject of ladies' clothing, and well, not just ladies' clothing, anyone can wear tights, but did see if there's any ladies listening, not sure, but pass it along. Saw a wicked hack on Instagram the other day about women who wear dresses in the winter months, and it's what they do. Awesome idea is they buy skin-coloured leggings and put them on with a pair of tights, so it looks like their normal leg colour under the tights. You know when you see through, you can see little light-coloured tights. So they wear a pair of skin-coloured leggings, and then they put a pair of tights on over the top. So it's like smart as fuck. Still wear nice
I'm
little
confused.
skirts
Why
in
is
the
that
winter.
advantageous?
Because they can
It
still
makes
wear their
you warmer,
skirts in the
doesn't it?
winter. So they're not
Instead of
just
you just
putting a
wearing a
pair of
thin
tights on
pair
their bare
of-
legs. They're putting a pair of leggings on, which are skin coloured, and then they can still wear their tights. So it looks like they've just got a pair of tights on, although they're wearing leggings under the tights.
But couldn't you wear 2 pairs of tights or leggings or whatever like that, and it's just a solid? I'm confused. Have I missed something?
It still looks sexy.
He's not as in touch with his feminine side as what we are.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, it's those
No,
weekends.
clearly not.
Just move along.
All right, never mind.
I will
couldn't have
teach you
explained
the
it.
ways of tights on our
Couldn't
24
have explained it any simpler. But nope.
I was.
Where's Alex
to
when
be
you
fair,
need her? Where's Alex and
that-
the UCal girls?
Yeah,
Come on.
Before that
Mention
confusing
it on the show
conversation,
next week when you're on there.
yeah, we will.
Yeah, we will do.
Before we were
Right,
talking
I'm
about that
making a note of
conversation,
that.
I was just imagining people running around with. Maybe we should bring out a brand of like multicam tights.
Multicam
Could be
long
a
john
go-to.
legging tights.
I would like to point out that there was a company, and I would dig this out, that produced arm warmers, which are basically a series of sort of arm length tights that you could wrap up over your arms. You see them quite often for people like a sunscreen protection, but this was designed as like a thermal protection.
Aren't they called sleeves?
No, so this was for short sleeve. I know, I get what you're saying. This was for short sleeve t-shirts and stuff like that, but effectively they were like a multicam sleeve.
Oh, I'm
that
Anti-cold
Yeah.
arm covering devices or sleeves.
I will find this out.
jacket.
Mine comes with anti-cold arm devices.
Yeah. And they're
See?
retractable as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I can't see the point in
I'm
buying
not-
sleeves without the rest of the jacket or the jumper.
I'm not saying it's something that people should go out and buy. I'm just saying that this was a thing that existed.
Very good. Or you could buy them tattoo sleeves. You've got one of them, Mike. Those tattooed.
I do
arm
have a
things.
couple tattoo sleeves.
That,
yeah,
that
yeah.
must be quite insulating.
Oh, I know. Hang on. Unless
Bar-
those
bar.
sleeve things, are they like arm gaiters?
No, these are basically just tights, camouflage tights that you put on your arms. They're not. They don't like give you any resistance
Oh,
to
right.
anything. It's not like you can whack them on to then go through like the forest and stuff like that, and then.
Drew Mitchell.
Good
I've
shit,
added NoFo to the pictures on Instagram. Be warned, I'm doing more. So far, I have 3 men in the woods wearing tights. Oh, Christ. We could have another Mark back on our hands.
Oh God.
We've got another memist. There's a memist in the chat.
I love memist competitions, like them.
Right,
Yes.
I've found the arm tights.
The arm tights.
Yeah.
Is this going to be like the string?
Sleeves. They're called sleeves. Oh, no.
Right. No, as I say, I don't understand the advantage of this. Now, this isn't.
What do they
This
call
is from
them?
AliExpress. This isn't the company
Army
that
sleeves.
I found. The
Arm
company
sleeves.
Yeah, arm sleeves. They are. I don't know why you would buy them. I don't know the advantage to having them, other than just
I
like.
suppose it-
I mean, they don't
no,
even say
there's
for
one.
warming. They
There's-
say for like cooling them. Cooling.
There's
multicam sleeves.
one advantage that I could see is if right, and this is not taking the piss out of albinos, but if you are albino and you need to blend in,
What-
and it's slightly warm,
Like a sunscreen
so you want to wear a
protector.
t-shirt, yeah,
Yeah. I get that. Sunscreen. Oh, that's quite a cool funky pattern. Like that one.
Yeah.
that's lizard. That makes you look like a lizard, doesn't it?
Well,
no, lizards
there's
don't
lots
purr,
of them
that's
for
fine.
sale on AliExpress. So if you're interested, you can get some unisex cooling arm sleeves.
Do they do leg ones?
Oh, I don't know. You could probably, if you've got tiny legs, you could probably put those on.
Tiny legs.
Oh, they'll probably be alright for me then. I mean, my legs are only like 9
I
inches
was
long.
going to say
you
they're
can-
probably
yeah.
about arm length.
Days.
Oh, apparently, there you go.
girthy
Dan
for you,
says
though,
the Tour de France cyclists wear something similar, Mike.
Yeah, that's because
Well,
they're
there you go.
cyclists.
Thanks, Dan.
I'd expect nothing less from a cyclist to wear something like that.
I feel this is like the string conversation.
Oh, leave my string alone. There's nothing wrong with the string. Let's talk about outer layers.
String's good.
So, do you wear anything differently? Let's talk about outer layers. You've obviously got your mid layers, so we'll probably talk about mid layers as like your U-back.
I tend to stay the
standard
same.
trousers and stuff like that. Any variation at all? No.
No, not really. You're muted, Lance.
It's done it again. It's done it again without me doing it. Literally. The only thing I would change is I'll probably go for a long sleeve because I don't usually wear U-backs and stuff like that in the winter. So what I normally wear is like a combat shirt, like a field shirt, and I'll put like a sort of snug long sleeve t-shirt on underneath it. Do you know what I mean? So I'd have like I'd have the t-shirt, my like a field shirt, and then like my smock on or something like that, or whatever I need to do. And if I need to add a layer after that, then I can chuck my norgie on. Or my softy jacket and then put my smock on. So it's all for me. It's always about layering up. But I could quite happily cut about with just that long sleeve t-shirt and my shirt on. Because once you've got your rig on, your pack, and you're moving about, you're going to be warm. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole cold and bold.
definitely.
If you get out the truck and the game has just started, give it 15, 20 minutes, and you'd have been cutting about a little bit, so you will warm up. But yeah, for me, it's just a normal cotton crew neck t-shirt, long sleeve with a field shirt or combat shirt over the top, and then my smock jacket. That comes like literally everywhere with me. The smock jacket in the winter months.
Yeah, so one thing that I've always been, and I was told by a couple of people, which is why I listen to it, is that you should always wear a cotton under, like a cotton layer against your skin, because your body sweats less with cotton, and if it does sweat, it's got a natural wicking tendency, whereas the modern nylon fabrics and stuff, they tend to hold it into you unless it's like Under Armour or certain
I
things that
find
have been
cotton more
designed.
comfortable as well. You know,
Yeah,
I find
that's why I've
it's
always bought cotton now.
Yeah, always, man. Don't much prefer cotton. But yeah, for like
But the outer
top
layer
half layer.
changes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wear same trousers summer or winter. It doesn't really phase me. It's obviously the layering up. That's what changes. Do you know what I mean? Like summertime, it'd be the Under Armour cycling short pants, boxers, what we want to call them, with just the combats on. And then obviously, as you go into the winter months, it'd be the Under Armours with the long johns and then my combat trousers over the top of that. I mean, it would have to chill right down for that. I mean, I'm not saying I'd wear it through like sort of like where it's changing now. I mean, I do know. I tell you what, I've noticed it now. It's losing the weight at work at night. I'm having to put more layers on at work, which I'm normally I'd just be wearing my body warmer and a jumper, but I'm now having to wear my body warmer, my jumper, and a jacket over the top. And it's just like fucking hell, it's cold. But
I mean, that's why I asked larger lads. It's fine. It's great.
Yeah. I've got to admit, I bought a set of trousers from, is it Bulldog, the UK company that makes it? Yeah, Bulldog. Damn, all of their trousers that I bought off of them are thick. Like they are a thick fabric. And you can't wear long johns under them. Because they're so thick, they actually keep you warm. You wear them in summer, I just don't even bother. You'll just sweat constantly. But for winter games,
how do they cope with moisture? Brilliant. Like when they get wet, either through sweat or if it's raining or something like that.
If you get really sweaty, they tend to not let anything out. But then also as well, they don't let a lot in. Like it really has to rain for it to get through the fabric. So they are definitely more of a winter trouser. There's less. I think they've brought out a Gen 4 or 3 copy now, where there's a bit of ventilation like around the crotch and around the knees and things. But yeah, they're normal trousers, like they're Gen 2s. Oh, I've got a set in multicam and a set in M81, and they only come out for winter. And even then, it's got to be a cold event. Yeah, they are good, and they're only about 30 quid.
They're Machiavellian trousers, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And the good thing is, you can cut through a bramble bush, and you don't feel nothing on your legs, like stinging out. Like where with all the Gen 4 stuff now, where you've got breathable patches all behind the back of your legs and around you cut through a stinging nettle bush, you end up getting stung on those, especially some of the beastie stinging nettles. They get through that thin fabric.
Weighing up pros and cons, isn't it?
Yeah. These things you could probably roll around in stinging nettles for about 2 hours before anything gets through. They're so thick. But
fair play, nice.
100% recommend for winter games. They are good.
That's an interesting
point. What about you, Mike,
for
your base layers? Well, for your top half sort of thing. What would you?
I don't. To be fair, it's normally the cotton long johns. I've started wearing the kind of light curry ones recently, just because of the grip on the trousers. But ultimately, the only other thing I'm potentially wear is a base layer t-shirt, something I can remove easily. I find with long johns and stuff like that, I really have to know it's going to be cold because I run the risk of overheating, and it's not that you can whip long johns off easily. You've obviously got to completely de-trouser, take your long johns off, wipe your trousers back on. Other than that, it's layering. So, your Norgies, anything like that. That's a big one. I've got this little branded fleece. I say little, it's quite bulky. This is probably one of the warmest fleeces I own. It's so much. It's so.
You've
so
had
much
that
fun.
ever since I mean, I don't remember how long ago you got that, but I've only ever remember you in the winter with that. That's like winter Mike.
This is like proper
winter Mike.
Proper warm. It comes in a variety of different patterns. You can get them with like a full-on front zip. You can get them. This one's only kind of the top zip, so it's like a pullover hoodie. It's got a little pocket on the front. I think they're only like 20, 30 quid, something like that. It does seem to vary depending on throughout the year when you buy them, and they come in different colours and patterns. But things like that, it's just ultimately layering. If you're going to be stopping, let yourself cool off a little bit, throw something warm on, make sure you lay it up appropriately, and then, when you're going to be out and running about, cool off again. Take some layers off.
Exactly that. That's why I like the softy jacket. It's such it's a godsend really, because it's one of them things like I said, like I use mine as a pillow. I've got an empty pillowcase, I stuff it in there, so it's under my head all night. And then as soon as I'm up and about in the morning, it's that first jacket, I can just chuck that on quickly, and it's been kept warm all night. It's just like, oh, that's good. You know, get yourself ready, then you can whip it off, chuck your smock back on, and you're sort of good to go. It's so important. Like Rage makes a good point there about keeping dry kit in the winter months. You must have a spare, at a very minimum, a spare t-shirt and a spare sort of shirt top in your kit. You know, I mean, I've never taken a spare pair of trousers with me to an event, even if they've got what sort of wet round the shins and that. Do you know what I mean? I usually ditch them at night anyhow. If I'm getting 2 hours sleep in my bag, the trousers will come off and they get hung up on the ridge line inside under my basher. So I'll try and dry them out, or if it's freezing cold, I'll chuck them outside and freeze dry them, and then just bash the ice off them or whatever it's going to be. But I've never taken spare trousers. I've always making sure the legs look after themselves. As long as your top half, your core is the most important. So making sure you've got spares of that is vital for your winter kit. You know, spare cotton t-shirt, like Andy said, cotton stuff's great. Go on.
I wouldn't really refer these as shoes. So these are my my bivvy booties.
Yes.
Bivvy booties.
So these are the Corinthia G Loft booties. They are actually called booties. I don't like the term, but that's what they're called.
There's some lovely names, yeah.
I've been using those at a couple of events. I've also been using these around the house quite a lot because they are so comfortable. You forget you've got them on. I just love them. And I told my wife how much they were, and she said they are the most ridiculously priced slippers that you could have ever bought. So these were 60 quid. They are, I think, about 150, somewhere between 120 150 from Corinthia. I got mine off of eBay. So if you're interested in getting them, you can get them off there. They compress
I got
down
mine off my
relatively
brother-in-law.
small. You know, that's just one boot in my hands. So it's sort of a double fist sized boot. But honestly, I love having them on. I had to take that one off to show you now because I've got them on at the moment.
Yeah.
They're just so comfortable. So highly recommend those. Appreciate they might not be the best.
I'm just going to grab mine because actually I'm getting a bit of a chill in my toes up in this airloft, so I'll be 2 seconds. So they're literally just there. Hang on. It's a really good idea, Mike.
Drew says that they basically mil-spec Uggs.
Yeah.
They are, yeah. To be fair, they're probably more attuned. So like
there's
just
no
a
rubber
sleeping bag,
bottom,
really.
is there?
No, so it's a hardened. You've got two different fabrics there. So you've got like a ripstop, like sleeping baggish material on the sides, and then the bottom is got more of a toughened fabric. So, but genuinely, they are so comfortable. I absolutely love them, and
booty friends.
I highly recommend buying them. They're great.
Oh mate, that's a right touch. Yeah, I completely forgot about them, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah, and the other thing is as well. So I'm someone that likes to sit on my feet sometimes, and I appreciate it's not necessarily the best long term, but if I'm sitting at home or something like that, I might throw a leg under me, whatever. You can do that with them because you don't really realise you've got them on. They're nice and soft. So yeah,
Mil-spec
Uggs.
Absolutely,
booties.
mate. Yeah.
Mini booties.
Imagine chucking a set of toe warmers in there as well, Mike, as well.
Oh,
Like 10 minutes before
Now
you're going to
you're
put these
talking.
bad boys on, just open a packet of toe warmers, chuck them in there, and just think 10 minutes time. Ooh, that's good.
So we did a little training day probably about a month ago now. There's only 3 of us that ended up staying overnight. It was so wet we couldn't even cook on the fire. We ended up going to get a kebab, which was pretty tasty anyway. The 2 guys that I was with, so Les and Danny, they ended up camping out, and they got a absolute shit night's sleep because it was proper rainstorm throughout the night. I ended up camping in the car because I was like, I can't be bothered to deal with the wet tent when you get home. And I don't mind camping in the rain, don't get me wrong, but it's like if I haven't got to, then why would I? Like,
I genuinely felt for you guys because I was sunning myself.
I was fine. That's the thing.
Cyprus.
So I was literally laying there. I was so hot because I had all my woobies and my blanket, had my booties on. I was laying there. I was sipping hot chocolate, watching some telly. It was a proper lovely evening.
I checked the weather when I was out there, and I was just like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah.
It was that video of the water just coming over and it was just like a waterfall. I went, yeah, I'm glad I'm injured.
Yeah, that's fair play though. Fair play for sticking it
Oh
out.
yeah, fair play to them. But I must say it was lovely
Hardcore
laying
lads.
there with my booties on, just chilling out. So
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Good bits of kit. In terms of, I mean, that kind of brings us on to sleep kit a little bit. We've obviously talked about sleeping bags and stuff prior. Do you gents generally tend to switch up your sleeping system?
Add to it. I don't change. Well, no, not really. No, I've got my base camp sleeper extreme snug pack. And if it is going to drop, I will chuck my jungle bag inside it. So because you can. Why not? That's why I won't ever get like a 5-season or a 4-season sleeping bag. I'll buy a really good 3-season/4, and the jungle bag that goes with it, or a similar jungle bag, and then I can just layer them up as and when throughout the season. Like summertime, if it's a boiling hot event, I can just use the jungle bag, or if it's a really cold event, I can use them both together. So it's a bit more modular system. And obviously, my mylar sheet, this is what I made. That makes more of an appearance through the winter months because it just is so bloody warm. It's cheap. It was cheap as chips to make it, and it's I've tried and tested it in like to minus conditions, and it's been toasty, proper toasty. So I'm well impressed with that. Can't burst it. The only thing you can do is rip it, and you'd have to work really hard to rip it. To be fair. So sleep system wise, I'll certainly just be adding bits to it again, layering up. You can get the Arctic bag liners for like $9.99. British Army Arctic bag liner, which is basically like a cotton sleeping bag, very thin. But again, it's another layer. Even adding a bivvy bag to your sleep system, that adds like was it like someone says like 7 or 8 degrees of comfort to your sleep system, something like that. I think 8 to 13 degrees.
Yeah, because those cotton liners they add 5.
Absolutely,
5 to 6,
yeah.
don't they?
The only thing you've got to be careful of is how many layers that you've got on when you're in your DOS bag. I mean, I literally get down to perhaps a t-shirt, boxers. I would normally leave my socks on because your feet can feel the cold through the night. I am tempted. I might consider leaving the old booties in the bottom of the DOS bag because they literally weigh nothing. They take up no space. The only time you're really going to chuck them on is when you're in your DOS bag.
Might not be the easiest way to put them on.
But I'm like, well, no, just as a storage. I think, oh no, they are. They're in the bottom of the sleeping bag.
Right,
so
yeah,
you know what I mean? You can just grab them out.
Just imagine you laying there in your sleeping bag, just like, all right, I've got pepperoni.
I've pretty lost my train of thought now. I don't know what.
Sorry,
I'm just waffling. Yeah, I don't know.
Adding additional layers to your sleeping system.
Yeah. Adding additional layers to your sleep system is vital. There's no point just taking like this huge 15-season sleeping bag and absolutely just sweating your nut off and not being able to do anything about it. You're much better off having them layers there that you can add and remove. And for me, it's been more cost effective. I've not had to buy a 4 or 5-season sleeping bag, a 3-season, and I've just got these 2 bags which do me for the entire UK weather, which haven't cost me the earth. My 3/4-season snug pack DOS bag cost me, I think it was £60. And the jungle bag, which I bought a little bit later on, was £25, something like that. Both snug pack, OD green, absolutely brilliant. So look, about £80 there which covers me for the whole year. Whereas, so in some instances, £80, that's not even a quarter of some 5-season sleeping bags. Do you know what I mean? And that's crazy money for the amount of time that I'm also going to be using it. Do you know what I mean?
I've got to admit, I've probably done it the wrong way, but it's how I find it comfortable. Is that I ended up buying the snug pack Elite 2, which is like down to -40, and I take that even on summer events as well as my snug pack jungle bag. And I'll if it is really hot or like I'll have the sleeping bag still out and it will just be another ground mat just to stop that. But if it gets cold, then I'll do the same as Lance. I'll kind of like get into my Elite one, or it'll be a 5-season, I would have thought. And if it's really, really cold, then I've got my jungle blanket to throw over the top of that. So I probably do it the wrong way, but it works best for me. And I'm the same as Lance. I've got 2 sleeping bags or 2 things that I can basically swap between.
That's it.
I've got a bivvy bag that stays in my kit, and one of the cotton liners. I always sleep in the cotton liner anyway, because it means you can sleep if you know that you're getting down for say 10-15 minutes and you're going to be up and out and you don't really want to take your boots off or anything.
Yeah, they're great.
You literally just throw your boots. Yeah, keep all your shit in the liner, get your head down for however long you get in, and then you're ready to jump back up. I have bought a second one
from liner somewhere as well. Can't think of that.
Yeah, I was looking at one. I got mine from Go Outdoors. I think it was about $9.99, and it comes in a little. Literally folds up to about that.
Yeah,
So I've
mine's
ordered
just
another one.
a Dutch sleeping bag liner, Arctic liner, but it's like an OD green, but it's got like a black bit down the middle where like the Velcro, or I think it's actually a zip up one, but it's really good. It's better than the British
Oh, that's
bag
good.
liner.
Yeah.
But if you can get the Dutch, if you're going to get one, then I recommend the Dutch one over the British one because it's got a zip on it. I'm sure it's got a zip on it. Don't quite.
Yeah, because the only one that I don't like because the only thing that I don't like about the one that I got from Go Outdoors is that it's kind of got a half flap and a flap, and then it's all just solid. So there's no quick way of getting out of it. You've got to get out your sleeping bag, stand up, and then you've got to kind of drop it like a dress, really.
You can always adapt that, though,
nice
couldn't you? I mean, there's nothing to stop you from retrofitting a zip to that, like lengthways. It's obviously
like I did with my bivvy bag,
exactly
that.
Of it. Yeah. I mean, the zip, depending on the zip configuration and something like that, it's obviously a point at which you're going to reduce your thermal protection. But there's nothing to stop you from adapting it to that.
No, absolutely not.
Apart from my sewing skills are shite. I'd go, yeah, that's brilliant. Get in it, and it'll just fall
that.
apart.
And if you're purely using it just because you're going to keep your boots on for X amount of time, no reason why you can't just trim it down to sort of knee height and just have it literally. So it's like a bag that comes up to just above the knees, just to keep your boots from shitting up the rest of your DOS bag, and that'd be quite good.
Yeah.
I always thought about that, maybe having an extra Bergen liner for just chucking over your boots and then getting in your bag. Because obviously it's waterproof and it'll keep all the crap in that bag bit at the bottom of your sleeping bag rather than soaking into material and stuff like that. But I've never actually done it.
But then you can't put your booties on.
But then you can't put your booties on. You must put your booties on before you go to bed, boys.
I don't like sleeping in boots. If I don't have to, I won't.
No, absolutely. And that's a crucial
real...
thing. Get your boots off, change your socks, powder your feet. That's it's some added little bits of comfort and massaging your feet as well. It's a huge thing.
Or get Mike to do it. He's a very good foot massager.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do what I can for the team. For me, with my sleep system, I generally tend to include the bivy bag. I bought a Helium 600 from Mountain Equipment, which is like it's probably massively overpriced and over spec for what I need, but it's a down sleeping bag. I use that all the time because I know that I am not going to be cold. The comfort rating on that is something in the region of like -10. So it's no, that can't be right. It can't be -10. Let me just look it up quick. It's designed for quite substantial cold nights. Comfort is
I love the
-5.
Cold.
Comfort is -5. Comfort limit -11, and extreme is -31. So that sleeping bag is going to keep me warm. If it
that's
drops.
pretty good.
Now, the only other thing in the summer, because I'd use this one in the summer as well, I generally just use it as like a bit of a blanket. So I'll just lay there on my pad, and then I've just got the sleeping bag over me.
Bit of leg out.
Sort of knock it to one side. Exactly like that, because it's not the end of the world. I have been debating getting a season 2 or 3 for summer, because I have found that the sleeping bag can sometimes... When we went on NAE, Andy, that year, I, for some stupid reason, got into it because I think it was proper cold that night. I woke up in the morning and I was like, I'd just been out the sauna.
I got to admit, we're in a wide open field. The literal weather report was like, it's going to be a little bit chilly at night, but then in the morning it's going to get to like as soon as you wake up and as soon as the sun comes up, it was getting to like 20 degrees like within a couple of hours.
So it's proper cold at night, so you snuggle in.
I'm hot. And then all I hear is this rustling in the tent next to me going, I'm sweating.
It wasn't pleasant. I learned how to clean a down sleeping bag from that event because it needed it.
Lovely.
Kenny says down must be kept dry to be efficient, and that's a point. So you need to be really careful with sweat. I've noticed that before. If you start getting it sweaty on the inside, you can definitely feel the temperature difference as soon as you start on it.
Yeah, I mean, do the pros outweigh the cons of a down sleeping bag, do you think? Or
I would say they do. So I previously was a massive advocate of the Snug Pack, big bouncing bombs and the Base Camp Extreme and things like that. The problem I found with them was, firstly, I'm a large gent. They were a little bit snug on me anyway. But you can buy expander panels that just zip in. And
the baffle thing, and it zips in.
Yeah, you can add sort of 2 or 3 of those to each other, so you can get the extra girth to allow. I like a bit more space in a sleeping bag. It does, it reduces well, it makes it slower to warm up, so it's not necessarily quite so good for keeping you warm, having the baffles in there. But it gives you that extra space so you can sort of wriggle around a little bit. What I've found with the down one, though, is that the compressibility is just so much more. I can get it down to like a thin, almost like water bladder size for the whole proper 4 seasons. So, I mean, that sleeping bag is going to keep me warm no matter what for the majority of the airsoft uses that we use it for. And I can easily slip it in and out my Bergen. I've not got that extra bulk. And then if you top that off with a bivy bag, something like that, to kind of keep it dry, I find it to be hugely advantageous, and that's why to me it was worth forking out the money for it. You can get cheaper down sleeping bags. My brother's got one from Mountain Warehouse. That I know he finds the same thing, but they're just so compressible. That's the thing. You just need to look after it. So as soon as you get home, it doesn't sit in the compressed state at all. It comes straight out.
Mine away.
No,
My compression sacks are all
So the stuff sacks, I don't use the stuff sack it comes with. I actually use a dry bag because I don't want it for compression per se. I want it to keep the sleeping bag dry.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, having it all compartmentalized, but having it in I think it's only like a 5 litre dry sack I've got it in, and it proper squashes down flat. So yeah, I really, really like it, but I appreciate it's a lot of money and it's not always the best option.
See, with mine packing mine, it doesn't. It's not really a problem for me because, like with my Bergen, the way I pack it, the only thing that's in the main compartment of my Bergen is my sleep mat, my DOS bag, and maybe my foot care kit, and that's about it. You know, a couple of very small kit items go in there. The rest of it is all reserved for my DOS bag, and that's it. Literally, and then all my other bits and bobs either live in the rocket pouches or the utility pouches on the front, which is a great way. I haven't got to worry about that. I can literally just open the bag up and just stuff my DOS bag in, and it's done. You know, I can pack my Bergen really quite quickly, and I haven't got to consider where stuff's going. Whereas I used to be like that. I used to methodically pack stuff and go, right, that can sit there, that can sit there, that can sit there. And when it comes to actually sort of breaking camp or wherever it is you were, and you had to do it in quite a bit of a hurry, you never get it back in the bag because it's been methodically packed. It's taken time to do it that way so you can fit all these bits in. Whereas now, that's all I do. So the main part of my bag is bosh, 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 and that's it. Close the lid, I can go. Because all the other small bits are either in their own little stuff sacks, and they're either in the rocket pouches or they're on my person. Do you know what I mean? So it just keeps it easier. It's just such an easy way of doing it. And again, go on.
No, go on. So
I was going to say with that, where Mike says he puts his in a dry bag. Obviously, I've got the big main bag dry. My dry bag is like the main pack liner, my Bergen liner. So I've got one of them, which is a dry bag. You know, it's fully submersible. You can float across a river on it. But then on top of that, my sleeping bag and that always goes inside my bivy bag as well. So there's that other added layer. Again, like Mike said, it's crucial that you keep this stuff dry because it's the stuff that's going to keep you warm at night when it's below zero. You don't want to get a wet sleeping bag where your Bergen's been in the pissing rain all day long and you've not had any protection to keep what's inside your bag dry. I mean, it's going to keep some degree of water out, but water will get through it eventually. So you do need to keep them items individually dry bagged. Absolutely, 100%.
So with my sleeping bag, everyone knows the Snug Pack stuff comes with those. They are good compression bags, but they're not really watertight as such.
No.
I haven't used it yet because I haven't been out. It is called a Sea to Summit Event compression bag, and it's basically a dry bag. Let's see if I can bring it on. It's basically a dry bag with sort of like a compression bag outside. Let's share my screen.
Has it got a little vent that you can attach a fan to?
Yeah. How do we share screen? I haven't done this for a while. Window. Entire screen.
While Andy's doing that, the reason I got, because Rage is saying modern materials now, I would say unless you were going somewhere proper fucking cold and at altitude, down is not worth it. If you have the money to spend, that is, as the sleeping bags can get pricey. So for me, I was already buying I had a Snug Pack previously that broke, and I had a shite night's sleep, and I woke up and my leg
that was an Apocalypse, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, that was Octo. That was one of the Octo
Oh, sorry,
events.
it was Octo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, that's when I slept
the
out
zip-
in my
the
basher.
zip had
It was
popped.
-6. Yeah, I'll remember that one. Yeah.
So the zip had popped, and I had a horrible night's sleep. I was just cold and miserable. Woke up the next day, I wasn't happy. So I saw this I was looking at down sleeping bags. I thought, they're very expensive, and then I managed to find a cheap deal from Cotswold Outdoor. I compounded that with a discount that I was able to glean from someone who was in the Scouts. So they could get me the extra Scout discount as well. So, I mean, I'm just looking at the price on there. It's recommended to be £300 sleeping bag, 350 quid. I paid 150 for it. So we're not talking vast amounts more, probably like two of the equivalent of the snug packs. So whilst that is expensive for a sleeping bag, you can get good discounts, and if you can find stuff cheaper, I'd recommend that. Because you don't want to be paying full price for some of this stuff. It's ridiculous.
No, and again, like you say, you've got to weigh up the how much usage it's going to get. I mean, if you're one that's well into their camp in general anyhow, then yeah, it probably is worth an investment. But if you're only buying this purely to go on MilSims,
it's pointless.
It's pointless. You
Prepper
might
shop,
as well
you
go
can get a second-hand sleeping bag.
surplus bag and then get a surplus jungle bag, and that will do you just as well for insulation purposes, isn't it? Absolutely.
So I found
Have you worked it out yet, Andy?
I have worked it out, just about. So this is on the American site. I didn't order it from here, but it's a quicker way of doing it. So it's literally a dry bag with just a compression outside. That's quite expensive. I think I've only paid about 30 quid for mine. But I've put my sleeping bag in it. It seems to work. It does close it down more than what the snug pack bag crushes down to. And it is obviously it's going to be 100% watertight.
Yeah, fair play.
How does that work? Because I mean, I understand how it works.
Literally going to be my question now. I know what you're
Dry
thinking.
bags, dry bags. You roll them up, and they effectively seal the air in. So how does the compression sack then compress it further? Because the air would be the problem with that one, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you have to compress it and then roll it up?
So what you do is, what I found to do is, I didn't do it up straight away. So I put obviously they've got the picture of it sealed and then going over the top. Well, that doesn't work. Like you said, you just end up getting a bag full of air. So what I ended up doing was leaving it open, tightening up the straps really tight, and then where you've got your excess, it's a bit fiddly to do, wrapping it round and then clipping it over the top of the compression bit, and that seemed to work fine. So you leave it open, compress it down, put your clips over and click it, so you've still got a handle to carry it as well.
Right with you. Nice.
But I'm yet to try it out in the field, but it does seem to close it just ever so slightly.
Can you ask
smaller
a similar question? Does it have a valve to bleed air when you compress it? Because that's the other thing. You can have like a one-way valve, so if you're compressing it down.
Yeah, the one that I bought didn't have a one-way valve or anything, so I literally left it open, crushed it, got my hands underneath, twisted it so it was like nice and tight, and then clipped it around the outside of that compression sack. That seemed to work. I didn't chuck it in water or anything. Might do. I might do NoFo science. I'll try it.
The science.
Put something
you
in
want
it
to
that
do
I'm not too bothered about.
Yeah, put a sponge or something in it, and then run that all through, and then you at the end of it, if it does leak, you can wring the sponge out and you can give it like a approximate volume.
Yeah, the NoFo water rating.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll have to call it the moist test.
Yeah,
how moist does this get?
Yeah.
OEX is
It's
great for
3
sleeping
foxes of
bags.
moisture.
Says Land Now Challenge. OEX is great for sleeping bags. I've not seen their sleeping bags, to be fair. I've been looking at. I've got my eye on a couple of their tents. I'm not going to lie. There is a couple of tents by OEX which I'm very, very close to thinking. Yeah, I want one of them.
I keep looking at Light Fighter.
Oh really?
I'm like, I really want one. And I was like, I keep looking at the price and go, oh, 700 quid.
I think was it OEX or is it One Tigress is another one I'm looking at, which is quite a cute little tent. Yes, the One Tigress. It's called the Backwards Bungalow. Don't know if you've seen that by One Tigress. Ultralight bushcraft shelter. It's called the One Tigress Backwards Bungalow. I quite like the look of that.
Because it's like an A-frame tent where the side opens up.
So basically, yeah. So you've got it's a bit similar to the NATO F2. I think it's a slightly smaller size. But then the whole side panel lifts up, so you've got like a canopy, which I thought was quite a novel idea. So yeah, it's a toss up between the OEX. Is it the 2-man Jackal and this backwards bungalow? Quite like the sound of that. Yeah, there we go.
Oh right, yeah.
So that can actually close down and just be like your standard generic A-frame, or you can have it up as a canopy sort of thing, which I thought was pretty cool.
So has it got a zip at either end, or is that literally your in and out as well?
That's your in and out as well. So you can leave one bit unzipped,
one bit.
Leave it zipped up and just come out like from one corner. But I just love the idea of having it pitched like that. I think that's a wicked little. You can still cook it under there if the weather's a bit foul and that. Yeah. Anything I think on Amazon that is 100. No, absolutely not. No, £106 and 98 pence on Amazon. That is, which is jolly good. I think.
Kinky.
Yeah. It was definitely worth a little look. So yeah, I don't know. I love the idea of that and the concept of that backwards bungalow. We're completely off topic, by the way.
Drew says they have one. Drew says, I've got a bungalow. I love it.
Oh, brilliant, mate. Oh, nice one.
It has no tent poles, so you either need to make or supply your own. Though.
Yeah, that's cool. I was thinking
Is it the same sort of height as the basher poles? I'm guessing that looks higher than a basher pole.
It does look higher, doesn't it? Than a thingy.
Yeah, I'd say so. You're probably looking at you can get a set of I've got a set of collapsible poles off Amazon for like 20-30 quid.
Yeah. They look like similar to the storm poles that you'd get for a fishing umbrella. You can buy a set of storm poles.
How do you rate it, Drew? Let us know.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah.
I love it.
A few pictures.
Oh, I love it. That's a good rating.
It's a good rating. Oh, yeah. I love it. I love getting wet. It's great.
Yeah,
I love it. It's the best.
Did you have to waterproof it anymore or at all? Like, do you guys, when you buy a new tent, do you waterproof it anyway, or like because it's brand new, or?
Not if it was brand new, I probably wouldn't. I'd certainly give it the benefit of the doubt first that it's going to be good, but then it depends what sort of rating it is. Do you know what I mean? And it's another one of them. You know, do you buy a £40 tent and hope to God it's going to last you a weekend event? Probably not. Do you buy a £40 basher and know damn well it's going to last you a weekend event? Absolutely yes. So it's weighing that up. You know, if I've got 40 quid to spend, would I buy a tent or would I buy a basher that's going to be in top-notch condition? I'd go basher all day long. You shouldn't be paying more than that really for a British Army basher off of eBay or wherever you're getting it from. But a 40 quid tent, I'll be like, I don't know. I don't trust this in the slightest.
No.
So, I think ultimately, if you've got a basher as well, worst case, if your tent does start to have problems, if you've got a basher, throw your basher over the top of the tent, and at least you've got you've got that problem solved then for that event. Yeah.
I think you should
I've never waterproofed
as a rite of passage. Anyhow, it's you should always start off with that. Once you've got that nailed down, your comfort rating is only ever going to go up.
Yeah.
I
think
love
it should just be a like a staple of any pack.
Absolutely.
Summer, winter, day
regardless,
games.
It's a brilliant.
Have a basher in your pack.
I harp on about how brilliant they are. They genuinely are just a versatile piece of sheet with lots of holes around the edge. And that's all you need.
What more can you want?
Literally is all you
need.
What
more can you want?
Drew says you can get 2 camp cots in it with a tarp over the top of it. Can be a full season tent in summer, open right up with full mesh frontage for airflow. I love it.
Nice.
Oh, cool! So it comes with the Mozzie net door as well. That's brilliant.
Nice.
I don't know. OEX might have to wait till
there might be a lot of those popping up because that actually sounds.
It could be cool. Yeah. We could dock them, couldn't we? If we had one each, you can just open. You could touch flaps.
See,
we could touch flaps with a basher over the middle.
Yeah. Touch flaps together and be one.
Although if you're sleeping with Lance, you could probably only get one cot bed in there because you still spend all afternoon putting it together.
Touch flaps, and then it would be one backwards bungalow, wouldn't it?
One backwards bungalow.
One Tigress make good tents, to be fair, for the price point, says Rage. I mean, I've been eyeing up the big bell tents that One Tigress doing. It's like an 8-man bell tent, but it doesn't have to come with a floor. So I was thinking there's like a mess tent or something like that. They've got like
Yeah.
the stove jack points in as well, so you could effectively have a little 8-man tent that you could sit in there, have a little stove so you're keeping warm and stuff like that. But it's a lot of money to put for the team.
And especially if you're all friendly, you could have all 8 of us sleeping in there. That keep
You could have all 8. That's the thing.
the more people in a tent, the better.
Absolutely.
But it's not very subtle. This tent. It is a big
Fun
tent.
times.
Camo
So-
net. Camo
Well,
net's make everything
We've
invisible.
completely gone off topic there. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
What was our? Where were we? We were at sleep
Winter.
systems. I think we've done. Sleep
Well, we've kind of
systems.
Well, we've
done.
done
I would say
sleep.
we've probably done sleep and shelter. Let's talk about
layers we
hats and
didn't do.
protection layers, like gloves, protection layers, and
Well, like jackets.
I'd like to talk about my Keeler hat.
That's the only reason you
So-
brought it up.
I bought this little Keeler hat. Now, I've already said on the show before, this is not a fashion accessory at all. It's a kind of tracker style hat. I've got the little flap that comes down the outside. It's fleece lined on the inside. It's their rain stop fabric on the outside, and I love it. I have used this now, again, multiple times in the cold, in the wet. I think it's great. Again, not a fashion thing at all. I would wear a different hat if I was trying to look pretty, but this keeps me warm. The only downside is you can't hear fuck all when it's on
Yes.
because it covers your ears. And I've had this. I've been sitting in front of the fire, and I have found myself having to. Oh yeah, sorry, I want to hear what you're saying.
So the thing that
Morning,
I
Phil.
spoke to
How
Mike
you
about
going, you
this
mongrel?
morning, Phil. I spoke to you about this, didn't I? Just before the show, about those hats that have the waterproof back. I've never found one that gives you enough fabric to go to the outside of a jacket that you're wearing. And for me, I've never found one that stops the rain from going down the back of me. Like, so I've got my waterproof jacket on, put my waterproof hat on, and I'm still getting soaking wet because the waterproof hat isn't going on the outside of the jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, in those sort of situations, a boonie would be a better. And I've actually waterproofed my boonie recently. Gave it a spray.
You can't even read that, can you?
Nice.
No.
Well, it does say sealskins, duty, military issue, waterproof and breathable. Sealskin socks. Didn't mention
Yes.
them. 2 pairs. 2 pairs of sealskin socks.
Everyone should have 2 pairs.
God damn it.
Sorry,
Just look goofy.
I know
Phil,
that I look
I don't
a bit
like the tone
stupid
of your
in some
voice.
hats. Marky Mark says you're definitely not a person who should wear a hat. You look like a nonce in any headwear. And then
That's wonderful.
Drew
That's a.
has also said, Mike, hat like a nonce.
Oh, there's my long
Hurtful.
johns. There you
Hurtful
go.
words.
I've actually opened my winter kit, so that goes in my Bergen. In there, I've got my long johns, so that's them there, like the old granddaddy sort of material.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bit of show and tell, like this. And then sealskin gloves, must have.
Not heat
Then
resistant.
pair of boxers, spare pair of boxers, spare pair of socks, and another pair of sealskins. So 3 pairs of sealskins.
3 pairs of sealskins. Oh, I'm only a 2 skin.
I do have my
I've
other
only got
At
one
least-
pair of sealskins.
At least he's not a 4. I'll let people.
I've got the sealskins beanie. That's quite good. But
Nonce.
the liners on the inside, so the outside gets wet, and then all the moisture just runs down. So you've still effectively got
Oh right,
wet.
yeah.
There's not really a great advantage to it, I've found.
But sealskin stuff's meant to be like underneath things.
No, these are more windproof
I
sealskin
always-
gloves. They go over the top. So they're sealskins. They're
And they go over
windproofs.
the top.
They're well good. They're fucking well good. That's the other thing as well. Wind chill. Keeping again and layering up. Just keep that wind chill off you. This is wicked. This is. So this is. I use this for. This is a windproof pullover jacket. And that literally.
Yeah.
That's how small that goes, and it actually goes into. And that's
This one's for Ryan because I
that's
know
actually
he
a bit
hates
baggy
it.
on me.
I'll
But many
take it.
people say, "Do you want
Um,
to sell this?" I'm like, absolutely no.
Yeah, I've got the same one. I've got the Cry version of it now, the one that Ryan absolutely hates.
Well, if anyone
the,
knows who that
the
is, and I think I've mentioned
Cry
it before.
British MTP.
If anyone can, it's a
Tactical.
USA brand, but I don't know who that is. My brother-in-law got it, traded it with someone when he was in. There you go. But I don't know who that is.
PAC.
But he said, "Whatever you do, do not sell it." And I was like, "Okay, I won't." Yeah, there we go.
That's why I like this new Cry one that's come out that Ryan absolutely hates, because I don't know if he hates it or if he's just jealous.
Does he hate it because he hasn't got it?
Yeah, because it's the new British Army MTP Cry top.
Oh, they're doing MTP now, aren't they?
Yeah, it's so thin, like yours. You can literally. I'm not going to do it properly, but you can crunch it up into literally nothing and shove it in the back of your bag.
Yeah, but mate, look at that one though. But that literally does go into the palm of my hand. Yes, and it's got a hood on it, and it's got a hood. Believe it or not, this comes with a hood.
So I can do.
Which is insane. Well, that's still good. But it's like I said, it's not waterproof, but it is windproof.
Oh, see, this one's mildly waterproof.
No, that's just purely a windproof cover.
My Keeler, I've got a Keeler Mark 1 or 2 smock, and that doesn't compress quite as well. But this is like a 5,000mm hydrostatic head. This is waterproof.
Yeah,
yeah. See, this one's light. The Cry one's light showers, light to moderate showers, and I've worn it in the last couple of days where it's been torrential. And I've got to admit, when it's been absolutely spanking it down and the water's started to come sideways instead of straight down, then yeah, it started to get a bit wet. But if you want a jacket that's never ever going to get you wet, French Army Gore-Tex.
never seen active duty.
Never seen active duty. Ran away a lot. Lots of holes in the back. Sorry to our French listeners, it's only a joke. But I've got to admit, like, it's almost identical to M81. And I've worn this in storm weather conditions when we've been working outside and the water's literally been coming up and my top half hasn't even got wet. And they're about 10-15 quid off eBay.
Nice. Smells of brie.
Trust me, it smells worse than that. That's the only thing about it, though. It does stop water coming out in every direction. It will keep you dry.
Beanie hat, mate.
Slightly hot.
Head covers and that. An old school, but if
Head
not,
covers,
though, failing that, even better, which I can't find, is I've got exactly the same colour, the balaclava, which does this, but it also just obviously goes into a balaclava as well. They're brilliant. Balaclavas are the bollocks. Yeah, which I thought what this was when I picked it up, but it's not.
I've mentioned this word of warning before on the show. Be careful sleeping in a balaclava because they do not stay in place when you're sleeping. And I've woken up nearly suffocating myself because the holes that had started there had shifted round to probably like the back of my head or the side of my head, and I thought
just
I
like
was
one
dead.
eye looking through the nose bit, like.
Oh no, it wasn't even that. Literally, I couldn't breathe or see, and I was like, whoa, stuck in my sleeping bag. So yeah, be careful of that one.
So one thing that I've done recently is, it was a mistake, but it's actually worked out as a pretty. I bought a roll down willy hat, or thought I did. It was in child size, so it was a little bit small, but you don't get the roll, so it still fits your head perfectly, which means that you can wear like a helmet.
So you bought a condom hat?
Basically, yeah, but it's a child's one. It doesn't make me look like a knob.
Yeah, I can't help that. I don't know.
A child's condom.
Your head shape. No,
not the sound
no,
of this
Lance,
conversation.
we're not saying that out loud. But yeah, that was a mistake.
That's a
What's
good one.
that?
So this is a like commando hat, but it's also a
It's a pillowcase.
so you can do that. So you can fold it, or you can do this. Turns into a neck cover
Oh,
as well.
nice.
Ah.
So it's just it's
Probably
the way
with the
you
label
fold
on
it.
the other side.
Yeah, cut the label off.
I'm slowly getting a lot warmer on tonight's show.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
I do like a snood. Highlander do quite a lot of quite decent snoods, because the thing I always find with some snood fabrics and things like that, they have a printed outside and the white is just an internal white layer. And they roll and it just becomes a bit of a mess. Whereas Highlander, they do some really nice woodland DPM, multicam, and then some like classic coyote brown type colours, which are always quite good for that front. So
I don't know how Lance feels, but I tend to find
use my
mine's
hands.
Mine's not even that like my beard is not as thick as Lance's. But if I wear a snood that isn't breathable, I'm drenched. Literally from where the snood goes around, I'm just like, this is just I'm getting colder than I'm.
Have you ever put your lid on in the dark with your chin strap?
And you go click.
And it's like,
Yeah. Mine's the worst, where you click it together and then you kind of go, yeah, that's perfect. And then you move your head and
you've got to pull the chin, you've got to pull the beard up, then you've got to click the bit, and then let the beard sit down in front of it. Because there's no way you can wear it properly with a long beard.
No, you can't.
I don't care. Fucking movies or anything like that. If you've got to wear that chin strap on your and then your beard just goes everywhere. Nobody looks cool. No one looks cool with that on.
I've got to admit, I've stopped wearing the chin strap unless I've got nods on.
Do what I see loads of
my
people
nods
doing.
on-
Just wear it on your neck, behind back there
Wear it
somewhere.
like that. Yeah.
Just on your neck. Strap it to your neck. So if you
But
do,
I'll
if your
only
head
really
does,
do that if
helmet
I'm
does get
wearing
caught,
nods.
it just completely grots you in the neck. That's what you want. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there you go. The main takeaway from this evening is, if you're cold, grow a beard.
Face Pro, mate.
This is right. I've cut mine, so it doesn't even go up my mouth anymore.
Right.
How's yours doing, Mike?
It's going well. As
There's
you can
some
tell.
growth there. I can see it. I can see it.
Is it? Big boy
Little bit.
moments.
Yeah.
You doing no shave November or whatever it is?
Man,
Man, I do no shave November all the time, but the problem is this
I
is
just
pretty
raised-
much
he raised
still
no
it.
money for it.
Yeah.
Beards are
But we
life.
tried.
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah. Phil says winter MilSim and how airsofters can stay warm. Stubbles and a singlet, mate.
Listen up, Phil. Granted, you have lovely winters out there, but you've got to offset that against the fucking enormous spiders that you come up against.
Yeah.
I'd much rather be very cold over here than laying next to a fucking enormous spider. Or
Well,
snake.
airsoft in Australia is basically just survive Australia.
Survival.
It's nothing to do with the airsoft.
I'm an airsofter. Get me out of here. That's what I've been. As soon as I
Right.
stepped out onto the field. Nope.
So it's basic. What's the last topic we got? We got keeping kit warm, keeping stuff warm, haven't we? Keeping like gas and batteries and stuff that's affected by the cold that would make. The one thing that I found is those, those heater bags, the ration heater bags that you get, the Flamish heater ration, whatever they're called.
Oh, Flamish heater.
Yeah. They no, you use them in the cold. Okay, you're sitting there waiting for hours with cold water. It's like, you might as well just boil a kettle.
Well, put your batteries in it.
Yeah. I meant for cooking your food.
Gas mags just bubbling away on a hexi burner. Yeah. All good here, lads.
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
I ain't stupid.
The little electric hand warmers are quite good as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah, that's called your car, isn't it?
it does work for that. Yeah. Take the edge off.
I'm yet to use my MWS in cold. Actually, I'm yet to use my MWS fucking full stop, but that's a different story. In cold weather though, so I'm not au fait as to. I'm guessing when you're on downtime, keep your mags in your jacket and keep them warm and shit like that. I suppose as would be an idea, maybe. I don't know.
I know there was some guys that had can't remember who they got to make it. I think it was Tap Belts UK. They made a double mag pouch, so one section fitted your mags in, and then it had a front little section to keep the breakable hand warmers in.
Okay.
The little square hot.
I'd love to see that under thermal.
Whilst on the subject of hand warmers, I cannot recommend these enough. So I think this is by Highlander, and what you get, I might have mentioned these before, but a little morphine box, which I got from Preppers for a couple of quid. But they hold, I think it's 4 of these little charcoal sticks. So you can pop that in there. You can either light one end, obviously unwrap it first, get a nice red glow on it, close it, and it will smoulder for a good couple of hours, and that gets nice and hot. Or you can do both ends, and it gets even hotter. Fantastic. Just chuck it in your pocket. Brilliant hand warmers. Mark Scott can vouch for these at Machiavellian. Absolute lifesaver for him, these were. But yeah, I got 2 of them. My old man got them for me for Christmas one year. So yeah, highly recommend them. They're like a little, almost like an old like snuff tin type thing. Little click shut, sort of glasses, spectacle case type thing. But they're absolutely magic. Absolutely magic. Always get your standard.
See, it always worries me. It's something that you actually light to put in your pockets and stuff like that. Like I have got the
Zippo pocket warmer is very good as well.
Yeah, I've got a little Zippo pocket warmer, and that's the same thing. Like you light that, and I get that, you know, there's obviously testing and that been done to these things, but it still concerns me that you effectively have something that's burning somewhere on your body. So I like the little
like my
heat
desire
packs, the
for you,
chemical heat
mate.
packs. Exactly, the little chemical heat packs, like the hot hands. I think some of those go to like 10 hours. Funnily enough, Decathlon have their own brand of those. They're only 6 hours long. But I like a packet of those, you know, because I get that they're not the most sustainable. Obviously, they're single-use bits of kit, but they do work, and you do have to be a little bit careful where you leave them when you're sleeping.
I don't know where I got these from, but I love the name of them. They're called Sup Champ. I don't know where I got them from. I don't know if it was like Pound Stretcher or Aldi or somewhere, but they're 10 hours of heat. They're a 10-hour one. And that's a hand warmer, and I have got the toe warmers here. These are the hot hands toe warmers. But these are up to 8 hours, hot hands. So this is 10 hours, where Sup Champ is 10 hours. Hot hands, the toe warmers, or foot warmers are 8 hours. I don't think I've got any.
Has anyone tried the electric hand warmers that you can grab off of Amazon?
Yes, so my wife has one, and they're quite good. The only thing with those is obviously charging it. So I appreciate that. That sounds silly, but the hot hands and things like that, for the most part, you don't have to worry about them. You can just chuck them in your kit. You can forget about them. They last for quite a while. I've had a few that have way past their sell by date and use by date, which have still worked fine. They maybe take a little bit longer to kind of get going, but for the most part, the hot hands kits, you don't have to worry about them. The electrical ones is exactly the same as a power bank and stuff like that. They can get susceptible to the cold, ironically.
A few of the guys I work with, what you said about the electric hand warmer, they've got the electric body warmers. Because obviously where we work out on the railway, you know, no cover whatsoever, and you're sitting there in front of a box wiring, like putting 5 or 6 cables in or whatever it is, doing like 3 hours worth of work, just like sat there in front of a box. You're not moving, you're not keeping active as much. So yeah, those like gilets, those electric gilets are really, really good. A lot of them swear by them. But again, it's the charging, and if you're going home every night, that's fine. But if you're using it for a weekend, I suppose keeping it till the very last second when you have to think, right, I really do need to warm up now, bopping it on for an hour or something. I don't know what the lifespan is for the batteries or charge, how long it lasts for. So, but I've heard good reports about them. The old self-heating sort of gilet or body warmer, they're quite good.
Yeah, it's just I was looking at a couple of because obviously I'm trying to do the event up in February. Hopefully, doing the event up in February. And February's just bitter all year round. But
that is our proper winter. It's like people say about now we're in winter. It's like fucking no, we're not.
It's not.
Like,
it's
winter's
February.
Like January,
February.
January through March is our winter. That's when we've had the worst amounts of snow and shit like that. It's when it's always happened. Really bad.
Having opened the episode with "We're in winter now." It's not that cold yet. It's gonna get a lot colder.
But I do like the cold.
I was just thinking of getting like a couple of.
I really do.
Yeah, just a couple of electric hand warmers. I think
they're good. No, they're definitely good. So the ones I've used, when it's on and running, it's fine. But I think you just need to be careful. The same with any electrical device, things like mobile phones, your battery chargers and stuff like that. You can't leave them in your Bergen if it's cold and it's going to be massive temperature drops. They've got to be in your sleeping bag with you because otherwise the cold is going to affect it and it's going to just drain it. Now the only thing I would say is if you are charging anything, be careful where it is because we've all seen these incidents of people's chargers going up. I can't think of anything worse than being stuck in a sleeping bag with a fucking lipo that's gone wrong. Because that's what these battery chargers effectively are. They're not all nice and safe. Some of them are mass produced in countries where maybe they're, I'm not casting aspersions on anybody in particular, but there are obviously knockoff goods out there, and you do not want to be stuck in a sleeping bag where you've got all those layers on, and then all of a sudden there's a fire right next to you. Is going to be a proper problem. So just be wary of that.
Fires are horrid.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to cause you real issues, especially with synthetic materials and stuff around you. It's just going to stick, and I can't even imagine it. But if you're going to have a little battery pack or something like that, try and get a decent quality one. Just don't take that risk. But yeah, I mean, I've had cameras, mobile phones, all sorts of stuff. It's been proper cold. It just cuts out. It doesn't work, and it kills it basically. So yeah,
fair play.
One thing I was going to suggest is we've obviously talked about the. I'm conscious of the time because we're to 1 hour and 40 now. The Stanley trigger flasks. We've obviously talked about those before as sort of good little ancillary bits of kit to keep you warm. What you can also do is they do the non-trigger flask, which has a slightly longer heat retention time. So what I've been looking to do is buy. So you've got the two. You've got your trigger flask for the evening. You can obviously drink that, but then you can boil water and leave that in your non-trigger flask, which will keep the water for longer. And then you've got some water to warm you up in the morning without having to kind of wake up and get in your kit and start making stuff. You can just make your little hot chocolate straight away, or cup of tea, coffee, whatever you fancy. Even just plain hot water if that's so fancies you. But then you're getting that instant warmth straight away, because there's nothing worse than when you wake up, you're in your sleeping bag, you don't want to get out, it's cold, and you're like, oh, you just need to get that motivation and sort of internal temperature to get going. So
Defo, 100%. And that's another thing for winter as well, is ensure when you're going to get your head down, ensure you've had a hot drink or a bit of hot food in you before you get in your DOS bag. Warm up that core temperature a bit. Nothing worse than, not having a hot drink. I've got to have a hot drink before I go to get my head down, or some hot food. And if you're brewing up, then make a brew and put it in your flask for the next morning. For the 3 hours after you've got your head down, at least you can wake up. And I always do it. I always make a full brew. It goes in here, or it goes in my flask, and I've got it as soon as I wake up. I know I've got a scalding hot drink just to get me going, rather than that faff in the morning. And it's a bit more, and you're using your time wisely. Then if you're on downtime, you make yourself an evening meal, boil up the water, and just get it in your flask for the night. Even if it's just the hot water, it'll stay a lot hotter for longer if it's just boiling hot water. Then you've put creamers and mixers and milks or whatever it is you're putting in it. Just leave it as hot water and make the brew in the morning. But that's an absolute godsend. There's nothing worse
I've got
than
to admit, that's my downfall, because I don't really do hot drinks.
Well, you got it, mate.
And I do think sometimes I'm like, it'd be really nice to have a hot drink.
But then
I
buddy up
could
as
just
well.
have hot water.
Just buddy up. Buy a like the thermoses or something like that, like a bigger thermos. Boil a load of water, leave that in there. Those bigger thermoses are going to stay long.
Well, like my Stanley flask, that keeps water for like over 24 hours. It will keep that water like almost boiling hot, like scalding hot. The Stanley, same brand, the Stanley 1.5 litre metal, old enamel green, very old school looking flasks. The best you can get. Lifetime guarantee with it, like all their other kit. You type in your little serial number you get on the bottom of the cup, and you're laughing. Any replacement parts, stuff like that.
The 1.9 litre Stanley Classic, which is £69 on the Stanley website, keeps water hot for 45 hours.
There you go.
It will keep things cold for 2 days and iced for 8. So if you appreciate, that's a much bigger system. 1.9 litres is a lot of water. But then if you've got one between the team, it's gonna hot drink in the morning. Everyone's sorted out, job done.
That's it, yeah. Especially if you're vehicle borne as well. If you've got vehicles at your location, or you're in a fob, you're in hard cover, having one of them 1.9 litre flasks, you guarantee all of you and your team will get a cup of coffee each in the morning without having to dick around with putting burners and stuff like that on. You can just literally instantly get a brew on. Brilliant. Great idea. Black Friday's coming up, so get your shopping in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a shout out for Yeti as well. Yeti's very good. I would say Yeti is very expensive in comparison to some of the Stanley stuff. But Yeti is a good kit. I mean, Rage has said Yeti. Drew has said Yeti equals winner.
No, it's good kit. It's a bit out of my price range. Yeti stuff, but for the amount that I use it, but it's very, very good. Very good.
Yeah, you can find quite a few bits of Yeti kit up on Facebook Marketplace and eBay.
But even then, though, mate, it holds its
Especially at the
value.
moment.
Holds its value really well.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause you get it second hand, but you're not going to get it a great deal cheaper than what you get it brand new. Do you know what I mean? For what some people sell stuff for, unless you're finding an absolute bargain when they, you know, if it's that cheap, there could be something wrong with it. You know what I mean? You don't know.
Yeah.
But some of the things I've seen,
Yeah,
for
there is
sale,
a bit of a
like
risk
some of the
in that.
coolers, I've seen them like brand new ones, like been 350 or 300 quid, and it's been up for sale like 280, only used for sort of like 6 months. It's like, well, I might as well spend another 30 quid and get a brand new one. That's probably got some guarantee in that with it. Do you know what I mean? Flasks and cups, not too bad. I might have to have a look, mate. I might have to have a look because I know Rage does pipe on about his Yeti stuff, so I might just get a cup just so I can say yes,
I'm
I
looking
agree,
at
mate. Wholeheartedly, they are very, very good.
the Yeti Rambler, which is 36 ounce, so that's a litre, is 50
Yeah.
quid.
No, it's not too much more. I think
no,
I
it's
can't
not,
remember what
it's
this was because this is the bigger of the Stanley Trigger cups. I think it's about 35, something like that. So I've got a 13-ounce one which fits in the ammo pouch in my belt kit really well, which is basically replacing the ammo flask, the old school one. But yeah, this is a slightly bigger one. I got. This is for commuting.
Yeah, I can't see anything in terms of it, how long it keeps things hot or cold for. It's probably on the website. I'm not going to sit here and browse the website while we're all talking. I think the Yeti Rambler is actually a water bottle. It looks more like a water bottle.
Oh, okay.
Maybe looking at the wrong product, but yeah. So anyway, I think that's probably pretty much it for the show. I'm conscious of the time. We're going to be rattling on into an extended version at this rate.
Absolutely.
If you want to get in touch
it's our
with the
first three-way for a long time.
Fatal freeway.
Ooh, back to normal.
If you want to get in touch with the show, you can do so on our email at nofochat@hotmail.com. Our Instagram is at November_Foxtrot_NoFo, and the website's novemberfoxtrot.co.uk. You can also get in touch with us individually. Our own Instagrams at 9volt airsoft, at callsign_quartermaster, and at the_punished_1_. Next week, I don't know what we're doing, to be brutally honest with you. What are we doing next week?
And we got
I
a
don't
guest
know. I
on
think
next
we have.
week.
Maybe.
I can't even remember.
Maybe
We'll
not.
sort out
We'll
something
put a
for next
post
week.
up.
Next week's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. Or if you have any
Yes.
ideas, or if there's any topics that you particularly like us to cover, drop us a message.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
We're obviously going to be on the UCAL podcast as of Tuesday, so come over and listen to that if you'd like to.
We'll be ruining it for them, poor girls. They won't have us on again.
That's why I'm not having any parts of
talk
it, so I
about
can't get
tights.
blamed for nothing.
Tights and
Yeah.
cord, that's what we're going to be talking about.
Literally, I got in there
question
early.
is- that-
Yep, sorry,
yeah.
I can't help you there. I'm not being responsible for anything that happens on Tuesday.
Yeah, that question has been written down. I will be asking that to the masses. Could end up getting stung off, but no, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Nothing better than us rocking up to a ladies' airsoft podcast and immediately changing the subject to. So we want to talk about tights because we had a question on ours and we don't know anything about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Help us, please. We've obviously got our 24-hour episode coming up. It's not too far away now. It's the 2nd and 3rd of December. We're going to be raising money for the Jigsaw charity, which supports kiddies who are down on their luck. Basically, they've had some shit stuff happen to them in their lives, in terms of their parents and stuff. So we're there to help. We want to try and raise some money for them. So please support us for that. Have we got any teasers, Andy, you want to bring up? I know that you've been leading the way in terms of the organisation on that one.
I have. So there's going to be some competitions.
That's what happens when you get hit by a car and have lots of free time.
Absolutely, yeah. I could do with that.
So the organisation has gone downhill massively because I've been put in charge. But we are hoping to get a couple of US guests on for some chats. I won't say any names because they're not 100% guaranteed. But the one that we had difficulty getting hold of, Mike and Lance don't know about this, but I sent a direct email and he has emailed me back.
Ooh.
So I just want to talk to you about that. So that's
Which
very
is
exciting.
I couldn't believe that we
and
could get
we've
hold of
got-
Biden. Finally.
Yeah. About time.
We got Trump. Because
Awesome.
I want to talk
Awesome.
about all the things, like all the airsoft, all the things.
so I'm trying to sort something out. I'm going to give this as a spoiler. Hopefully we can get it sorted. So this is going to put pressure on Mike and Lance now. There will be a single NoFo hoodie up for auction and the entire profit will go to the charity.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only way that I can work out how to do it as an auction would be through eBay. So if you have an eBay account, that'll be where it's going to be. But I'm currently talking to eBay because they do charity events and things as well. So hopefully,
a
100%
single
of the
hoodie. There will
profit,
be none
a
will ever be repeated. One and
No.
only hoodie.
yeah. So it'll be a single hoodie. It will be something that only.
I think us three, we're getting one, aren't we, as well?
Yeah. So it'll be us three.
Oh, I thought this was one design
No,
purely
no.
for this auction.
Yeah,
Please,
so it'll be
but there's going to be 4 of them made.
Yeah, so there'll be
Oh,
4 or
what?
5 of them. Yeah, there's only be 4 or 5 of these hoodies made, and one will be going up to auction. And I'm just sorting that out now. So now that puts the pressure on Mike and Lance to get some designs organised. But yeah, very much looking forward to it. The size.
What do you want me to fucking do? Design a fucking hoodie?
Just sign off on
Mankini.
it. Yeah.
Basically, it's not going to have any sleeves. The sleeves is detachable.
Yeah,
You
the
have
sleeves
separate
are quite
sleeves that
separately,
you have
that's
to
fine.
wear.
Yeah, they're separate auctions.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so we're going to have some live science.
Cot bed making.
Cot bed making, that's a challenge.
Mhm.
We will also be doing some comparisons on real steel and clone bits of kit.
Food,
what else?
rations.
Food, yep. So hopefully we
Food,
can get hold of
rations,
some
guests, many guests.
odd rations, lots of guests. I think I've worked out that we can get 8 guests on in 24 hours.
And highbrow conversation between us three as well.
I haven't
Obviously,
necessarily run this past Andy yet, so he doesn't know this, but I think I've worked out how we can get people to leave us voice messages so that we can have supports for the show, which might be entertaining or not. I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll wait and see.
We're going to have to vet those.
Yeah. New segment, voicemail of the week.
Them.
Yeah. So it should be good. So yeah, that'll be the 2nd and 3rd of
there's
December.
lots going
Please,
on. There'll be loads
please tune
going on.
in. You have no excuse. It's a Saturday and running into the early hours of the Sunday.
Oh, Andy,
So-
I'll be driving to your house straight after the shift on Friday night. Please let me in. Don't let me down again.
I won't. I'll just post you a key.
I'll be
leave your
there.
key
I'll
out.
be there, Lance.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm not doing that again. Just sitting at a gate
Yeah.
staring into a field. Fits.
Yeah, I did feel bad about that one.
Good fun.
Keith Robinson said, "How do I get one of your patches, please? Pop us a message, DM, either on the website or directly to the emails, etc., and we can sort you out with those. That's not a problem."
We've got
Absolutely.
some brown ones and.
Lastly,
Have you got any green ones left?
No, I never had any green ones.
No,
Oh, I didn't
I
get
think there's a
orange.
green one left.
I've only got oranges
Lastly, please feel free to share
and stickers.
this with other people. It's always helpful for us to try and boost our audience. You know, if anybody wanted to just post a little cheeky post to any other Facebook groups or anything,
Also,
and
like that,
reviews
yeah.
as well. Leave us a review on our
please leave
on
us a
our
review.
platforms. For,
And
for
like
the show.
and if you can, like and share, and comment
Like
on
and
the
share,
posts
buy us a coffee,
after they've
all
been.
that lovely stuff.
click
Yeah.
the little bell.
Because we're just trying
Follow
to break
us.
the algorithm. Yeah, we're just trying to break the algorithm because YouTube doesn't like us at the moment.
And it turns out everyone's now drastically leaving.
To
Yeah.
like and subscribe and share and leave reviews.
They're all busy
Yeah,
off to go and do that.
subscribe,
Yeah,
share, hit the
Exactly.
bell end button.
Mhm.
yeah. Lastly, Andy, would you like to have the closing words?
Yes. Your fingers have fingertips, but your toes don't have toe tips. Yet you can tiptoe, but you can't tip finger.
Right.
Play that back and work it out.
Something to think on there.
Bye, guys.
Later, Tater.
We'll see you all next week, 8 o'clock. Have a good week and stay NoFo.
And
Stay
ciao, Bella.
NoFo. Ciao.
Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
See you later.
See you later.